This is the BrewVerie Report. Daily news, once monthly. Here are your anchors, Paige, JT, and Mike.
Welcome to the BrewVerie Report, where we deliver your daily news monthly. I'm Jolt of Testosterone, and this is...
Microscopic amount of caffeine. I don't know.
It's only funny because it's so far from true.
Yes, I am packed full of caffeine just to stay awake most days.
Oh, I was calling myself to the carpet on the testosterone front, but that's fine. Don't let this beard fool you.
Or Santa's over here. Nah.
What?
Or Santa's over here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Listen, I blow real hard on my thumb, and that's all I get. This is it. That's it. So I try real hard, but nope.
Yeah.
In fact, I guarantee you that 80% of people who have heard us before, when they heard me say jolt of testosterone, they were like, "No way! What? Who's this guy?" It's not me.
Jolt of testosterone. What are you talking about?
Especially since I introduced myself as Jolt of Testosterone.
Oh, jeez. And Paige is still not feeling well because we recorded this the same day as the last episode of BrewVerie. So she is not joining us.
Get to go behind the curtain backstage. It's the same day, only 5 minutes later.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are going to move into random.
Oh my goodness. Well, on Thursday, 14th of September, 2023, an article was published called Guinness World Records, Astronauts, Jugglers, and Cuddly Toys. Who has made it into the book for 2024? And I love lists. So,
yes.
I feel like...
Listicles.
I love listicles. So the first one, Mia Peterson, 16 years old from California, has broken the record for the most people Barani flipped over from a quarter pipe on roller skates. Now, a Barani flip is like you go up the quarter pipe and then you push out past the edge and you flip, right?
Okay.
Right, as if I knew that, but I just have this idea looking at this picture.
Oh, okay.
But she managed to make it over 12 people.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Take that, Tony Hawk.
Right. So a Barani flip's an aerial maneuver consisting of a front flip and a 180-degree turn. And so she did that over 12 people. It's not necessarily a 900, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So,
especially for a kid that young.
Yeah. And another teenager, speaking of young, keeping themselves out of trouble by chasing world records. Well, it depends on what the record is.
Yes.
Is 15-year-old Simeon Graham. The teenager from Birmingham has actually broken 3 records. He managed to achieve the most juggling catches in 1 minute with 5, 6, and 7 objects. So he's basically speed juggling.
Nice.
I can juggle, but not like that. Good for him.
Juggling all the countries they stole.
We all know that we drop those now and again. So when is the right age to stop collecting teddy bears? Some might say your early teens, your mid-teens, but Nicholas Cherrywood from the U.S., who in his late 20s has the largest collection of Care Bears in the world. He has 1,234 Care Bears, and they're reportedly worth over 100,000 pounds.
Wow.
Which would probably be like $130,000 is my guess.
That's too many of anything. Like, no shade on collecting stuffed animals or anything at all. Not at all. But that is a lot.
I don't have a house big enough for my 2 kids, let alone stuffed animals.
They probably have a room just full, and they're probably all in their boxes still too.
Right. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here, I'm going to send this image to you. This is
Because that's
him.
the kind of person that usually doesn't open the toy.
Well, some of the tags are still on, but like those images where you have to like find something. It's like an I Spy book where you have to find something in the middle of a bunch of stuff. Good luck finding him, because he's cute. He looks like a
Oh,
Care Bear. I
wow.
love him. Yeah, isn't that a lot?
That is a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And also he has Care Bear pants on and a Care Bear button-up shirt too.
You know what? You saw that before I did, because I seriously thought those were just more Care Bears. Oops.
Nope.
Well done. You have blended in. So, Amir Menendez is only 14 years old, but has grown what Guinness calls says is the world's largest afro for a male. His head of hair is 19.67 centimeters high. That's 7.74 inches. It is 24.83 centimeters wide, 9.77 inches. And it has a circumference of 226 centimeters or 88 inches. And I'm going to send this one to you as well. I don't know why I sound like Casey Kasem, but here we are.
I don't know who that is. That is an impressive afro. Although it is so loose that like I couldn't imagine if you got into some like high humidity that would just be like
yeah. And also there are a lot of teenagers in this list.
Yeah. What
right.
do they say he's from Seattle? Because he's wearing a Seattle jersey.
He is wearing it. They don't say where he's from, but I'm gonna go with Seattle. So, not content with playing poker or bridge or solitaire, Chinese record breaker Tian Rui has used the hand he was dealt to build the world's tallest house of cards in 1 hour. So his tallest house of cards in an hour is 27 stories.
Wow.
Not like, I mean, like it's 20, obviously it's 27 card levels.
Yeah.
And it is 7 feet, 4 inches tall in 1 hour.
Holy shit. That is some talent. Like that takes some real balance.
Now, he also has broken the record in the past for the tallest house of cards built in 12 hours, which is indeed pictured below. And I just sent it to you. And this was 50 stories and had a height of just over 11 feet.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Also, that is like a serious violation of a use of a ladder, too.
Isn't it, Mr.
3 points of contact. 3 points of contact.
I mean, he does technically. He's got right leg, left
Well,
leg,
that's
and middle
true.
leg.
And balls.
I like that we went the same route with that. All right. So Grace Good from the U.S. holds the record for the most fire hoops spun simultaneously with no fewer than 8. So fire and hips and fire. United Arab Emirates has hosted the largest ever gathering of people dressed as astronauts. Guinness is reaching with 940 people. Ginny McCall from the U.S., who at 73 years old, I watched this. She is the world's oldest competitive female ninja athlete. She appeared on the 2023 series American Ninja Warrior.
No way.
It was impressive. She lost on the first thing, but so would I.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Tommy, a 13-year-old purebred brown Swiss steer, is the world's tallest at 6 feet, 1 inch. I'm going to send this picture to you as well. A steer is an animal which is born as a bull calf, and if left intact, it becomes a bull. However, if it's castrated, it becomes a steer, poor guy, before growing into an ox. He's pictured here with his owner, Fred.
Holy
I think Fred's pretty short, to be honest with you. But also, wow.
That is still a huge bull cow, whatever.
Look up Tommy the steer. You'll most assuredly find him. He's hard to miss.
Yeah, you can't steer past that.
I just got a few more if you're okay with hearing a couple more.
Yep.
Tom Enoch, who has Down syndrome, holds 24 fitness-related Guinness World Records. And his latest is the record for most push-up burpees in 1 minute, having completed 16. The exercise is basically a push-up followed by a leap in the air. The only burpee I do is during our recording sessions after my beer.
I've been pausing whenever I burpee because this beer is pretty carbonated.
Right. I don't think that's gonna put you in the Guinness, but hey, here we are.
I
Who
don't
knows?
think so. But also, that child is crazy because those exercises suck.
They do. I sent you a picture of him. Amanda.
I'm sure that kid's awesome. Like,
Oh yeah,
that
no,
takes so much,
he looks so happy
like,
with what he's doing.
physical strength. He does.
I love it. And look at all the
You said
Guinness
he had
records
Down
behind
syndrome?
him.
You said he had Down syndrome?
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a person that is just more happy with life than people with Down syndrome. I saw this guy, a young kid, that did a viral video about 7-Eleven, I think it was. I think it was 7-Eleven. So they sent him a package of like goodies and some like 7-Eleven shirts and stuff because this kid loved 7-Eleven. And to see the smile on his face for getting this small little package from 7-Eleven, kid's living his best life.
Oh, for sure. Amanda Stalso from Denmark has achieved the most jumps on a horseback in 30 seconds, managing to complete 13 jumps. These are not just like, oh, I kind of jumped. These are intense, like gymnastic jumps, which I also sent you a picture of. Sadakdeep Chala, 15, again, a teen, has the longest hair on a teenager, 4 feet 3 inches long. Holy shnikes. And then Dave Watson from Dunstable in UK has the largest. Shireen is going to make fun of me for saying it that way. I'm sure it's pronounced something different. The largest collection of number one singles with 1,258 chart toppers. Yep. And then finally, Ryusei Uchi from Japan has achieved the most, you're going to go back to the 90s, skateboard ollies in 1 minute blindfolded. He completed 33 jumps blindfolded. I can't do it with my eyes open. I couldn't even when my knees were good. So
I had a skateboard at one time and it had only the one side that went up because it was old school.
Yeah.
And I could never do an ollie.
I think I had way too much like the sense of self-preservation. Like I would hit ramps with my bike, but it's a lot different than a skateboard. I'd even hit them with a scooter. Like, those the real scooter, the ones that were like welded. Yeah.
I used to do jumps on my bike until I took a really hard crash, and it wasn't a big jump. And that was my last one.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yes.
Well, anyways, that's
all right
for 2024. Feel free to not check out the book that is in every single bookstore that'll be in the front and cost about $24. So
Rio Bear and Tree reportedly causes Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square to fail to open with the park.
What was the first part of that?
So, Real Bear in a Tree reportedly causes Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square to fail to open.
We don't do wildlife, Mike.
No, not bears. So this was reported on September 18th, 2023. After this morning's delayed opening of 3 Magic Kingdom lands at Walt Disney World, it now appears that a bear inside the park is reportedly the cause of the issue. According to WDW Magic, unconfirmed reports state that the bear is in a tree located near Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Frontierland. So as we shared this morning, cast members are stationed at the entrances to Adventureland and Liberty Square, preventing guests from entering the western half of Magic Kingdom.
The plot twist is that it was actually a method actor, and he was in the blue costume.
What a methed up actor?
Yeah.
Florida man.
It was DeSantis.
Right.
He said, if I can't beat him, I'm going to, I guess I'll join him because I'm not going to be president. I'm losing to a man with 91 counts.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so you tell me if you've covered this before, but police in Ontario.
Ontario?
That's what I meant. It was freshly paved, so I called it Ontario. Called in Oh, Guinness, it makes me feel funny. Called in several beekeepers for backup when approximately 5 million bees fell off the back of a truck. So the Halton Regional Police Services said officers were alerted about 6:15 a.m. That's a terrible wake up. That several boxes of bees had fallen from the back of a truck on the Guelph line in Burlington. It's pronounced Guelph.
Guelph, probably Guelph, Ontario. Yeah, Guelph.
That's what I'm going
There we
for.
go. Yeah.
So Ryan Anderson, police spokesman, so we know this is going to be good. Quote, we're not sure how or what exactly took place, but at some point, the boxes containing bees or beehives slid off the trailer and spilled all over the road. Could you?
That's a really shitty morning.
It's a really shitty statement. We don't know why.
Yes.
We don't know how, but at some point, bees and or beehives, can you not tell the difference between the two, sir? Or both?
Probably not.
They spilled. Anyway, so several local beekeepers. I love their verb choice here. Several local beekeepers were summoned to the scene. It's like they heard the buzzing and they were like, "Hark! I must go."
Yep.
And they were helping to gather the estimated 5 million bees.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Luke Peters, a beekeeper, said he and his fellow beekeepers had to be extra careful during their efforts because the insects were agitated. No shit. They fell off a truck. I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, I'd be just buzzed right off.
Quote. Sorry, that stung me. It's important for people. It's important for people to understand that honeybees are fairly gentle and really don't bother people unless they are bothered. This is a rare situation where you have to keep your distance from them. All 5 million.
Yeah, just say sorry, honey.
Right. I'm the queen. Quote, we are going to be leaving some crates behind. Some of the bees have escaped, and we're hoping that they'll naturally return to these crates and will come back at a later date. This is literally just like everything the government in this country F's up. They're like, we're going to leave, and we'll come back to see if you guys fix it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Next thing you know, the bees are storming down the street with little swastika flags. No.
It's like they made it to Florida. That's impressive.
Exactly.
Police said, get ready for one last joke. Police said the driver of the truck was cited for driving with an insecure load.
Oh. That'll buzz you right off, right?
Oh, that'll really. Yep. Nope. I've never had it, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, sometimes you gotta float like a butterfly or you get stung like a bee, right?
You know, it's really funny because literally there's nothing that goes through my mind except for the Pixar movie Bug's Life, which is all about ants, and that makes no sense. So here we are.
What's that one though with oh shoot.
You talking about Bee Movie with Seinfeld?
Yeah, Bee Movie. Yeah, Seinfeld, yeah.
It's alright.
Not a big fan of Seinfeld.
Well, no. But here we are, 5 million bees.
True. Protective moose tramples hiker on trail with barking dog, Colorado officials say. A defensive cow moose trampled a hiker after his dog began barking on a Colorado trail.
A cow moose? 2
hikers with 3 leash dogs first saw the mother moose and a calf in a clearing along Craig's Trail in Teller County on September 12th, Colorado Parks and Wildlife said in a September 13th news release.
I was confused because you said cow moose, and I was like, are we just not sure what it was? Cow, moose, duck, iguana? Like,
female.
Makes sense now.
Though they tried to go around while keeping some space from the moose, she continued towards them, and one of the dogs began to bark, officials said. The moose came at them and trampled one of the hikers, officials said. So the hikers were able to get out from under the moose, officials said, but as they tried to run away, the mother continued to chase after them down the trail. Which, you don't run from wild animals. It's just not a good idea.
Well, I'll tell you that story in a second.
So
Yeah, don't
the
do it.
moose eventually stopped chasing the hikers, who were able to get into their cars. Traveled hikers had only minor injuries, according to officials. Quote, the incident is a reminder of why we warn everyone to respect wildlife and give them their space. Tim Croning, a wildlife manager with the department, said in the release, adding that moose often see dogs as predators and act defensively in response.
I love that something as big as an SUV sees a dog as a
Bigger.
predator.
This incident marks the third reported moose attack on humans in the state so far this year. That's crazy.
Good God. Well, if you go back to like 1985 or 1986, my dad will be one of them because he was chased by a moose in Alaska.
Yikes.
So Papa Brew's crime. He knows what it's like. He's also apparently pretty fast. So here we are.
Yeah, no shit, right?
We're going back to John Johnson from Newser, our favorite guy. So, dogs are great. I love dogs. Obviously, my job revolves around them. I had 3, have 2. San Diego dog is excellent at detecting burglars, but the next step could use a little work. Police released an unusual surveillance video of a burglar taking an electric bike from a homeowner's garage. Quote, in a rather peculiar turn of events, as the suspect was about to make his escape, he paused to pet the household dog who had entered the garage. The man was quoted, the man was heard telling the dog, "You're so cool." This was per Fox News, so I don't know how reliable it is. In fact, he actually walked the bike back into the garage, put down the kickstand to cuddle with the dog. He said, quote, "You're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. You're a sweetheart." He gives
Oh my God.
He gave the pooch a belly rub, accepted kisses before leaving. The thief also appeared to offer up some advice to the homeowners, suggesting they, quote, not leave your garage open again. The bike's valued at $1,300.
I wish there was a e-bike around here worth that little. They're so expensive.
No, I believe it. I mean, you know what? This is a dog who. Have you ever seen a video of 2 dogs going at each other on either side of a gate? And then
Yep.
you open the gate and they're like besties, and then you close the gate and they argue. They're like fighting again, right?
Yeah.
And by fighting, I mean.
But also, don't forget. Usually, there's no fence; it's just the gate.
Right. So, like, this is that case where he's just like, and then he goes out, and then it's like, oh, yeah, yep. That's the spot. That's the spot.
That's the spot. Oh my God.
It's just like, I love dogs, man. They're so funny. I mean, it's just, can you imagine watching that video as the owner the very first time, where it's just like, get him, go, no. But I'd say you've got
no more treats for you this week.
What?
No more treats for you this week, traitor.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, if the dog would have attacked in the U.S., it would have been a lawsuit. So he would have gotten the bike and the lawsuit.
It was on his property. He'd probably get to sue the guy for giving his dog like stress.
No, the guy who got attacked, the robber could sue.
I guess. Well, that's right. You got to kill him in the States so that there's no legal action.
It's so stupid. Anyway, so you know what? Good on that golden retriever. I'm not surprised it's golden at all. But yeah, so the golden sold the electric bike for belly rubs.
Yeah. Well, I have to laugh because there's only one breed of dog that's ever bit my wife, and it was 3 different golden retrievers.
Oh, Jesus. Good God.
But it's just because the first one bit her, and now she's scared of them. And whenever you show fear to a dog, that's usually where things can go wrong.
It's part of it, for sure. I question who you're hanging out with if you got Goldens that are attacking.
Oh, it's not people we're hanging out with. It's just randos on the road.
Well,
yeah.
They should have their dogs removed from them then.
I agree.
Whoa.
I agree. Because they're very nice dogs usually.
Yeah.
All right. I got another one here. Rare photo shows a macaque riding a deer for fun in a Japanese forest. And I will send this image
Is
to
it
you,
wearing a
JT.
kimono?
No,
Oh, darn.
that would be better.
Oh, I can't wait. He's not riding it. He's sleeping on it.
Oh, he's riding it. He's holding on with his hands and feet.
He's taking a nap. That's awesome.
So, wildlife photographer Atsuyuki Oshima, I think, and I apologize because I ruined that name, captured a rare interaction between a macaque and a deer. So they lounge in hot tubs, have active sex lives, and sometimes take joyrides. Macaques are living the life.
Sounds like my Friday evening, minus a couple of those things. Like all of them.
Yeah. So the photographer captured this rare photo of a monkey cowboy. The photo taken on Japan's Yakushima Island is titled Forest Rodeo. Oshima snapped Oshima snapped the photo just after the monkey catapulted itself onto a sika deer using a tree as a springboard, he described on Instagram.
He parkoured the deer.
Yeah. So it does say macaques have been observed riding sika deers before. So sometimes monkeys just want to take rides for fun.
I mean, they're not far off from us, and we ride horses. So what's the difference?
Oh my God. Here's another one of macaques sitting in a hot spring.
Oh my gosh. Send it to me. Here
Just
it is.
did.
This guy, these two monkeys, y'all, these two monkeys have this face where it's, well, specifically one is like self-care.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other one kind of looks like a partner that just got yelled at, though.
It does. It does look like it was just like it got in trouble. And both their faces are red, so you know they're embarrassed.
Yeah. So it does say that these Japanese species coexist and even have a symbiotic relationship. The deer clean up after the monkeys, eating the fruit the primates leave behind.
Mhm.
In return, the monkeys groom the deers, hopping on their backs to pull off bugs.
I freaking love nature, man. I'm not gonna pull ticks off of you, but like I wish humans like treated each other like that. It's like
Yeah,
we need each other.
I agree, but this is going to be a little more human-like right here.
Oh boy.
But other times, a macaque's motivations may be less pure.
Ah, yes, very human.
Both male and female macaques have been caught trying to get it on with Sitka deers during the mating season.
This would be the nerdy fraternity on campus, out of their league.
Yes.
That's so funny. I cannot imagine. Can you imagine a deer that could climb a tree? Or just a monkey with antlers?
Yeah, no, that would be funny.
It would be funny. Like he's just trying to swing from branch to branch, but his antlers keep getting caught, and he keeps like ringing himself like a
Yeah.
horseshoe. Oh man,
Oh, my.
brain's a weird spot. September 19th this year. Utility officials in Montana City said this animal were responsible for 3 separate power outages over the course of 2 days. So 14,500 customers were without power for 45 minutes on Saturday. Oh no. When a blank damaged equipment at a substation. What do you think it was?
Oh God, I have no idea. Where again? Sorry,
It was in Montana.
Montana. God, I don't know.
Well, they were tampering with the equipment and they were squirrels.
I almost said squirrels. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Well, you would think that a power grid was safe from a tiny mammal. But apparently,
Well, I mean, it's not safe from heat or cold.
yes,
So,
yes, especially if you're Greg Abbott. But yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Squirrels caused 3 power outages recently in Montana. Guys, I would suggest you vote for the right candidate next time who could take care of your infrastructure because it's being taken out by a nut.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
A Cuban teenager was offered a job doing construction work in Russia. Instead, he was sent to fight on the front lines in Ukraine.
Well, y'all.
Yes. The Cuban teenager unwittingly found himself on the front line in the war in Ukraine after accepting a job offer he received on WhatsApp to do construction work for the Russian military.
You accepted a job on WhatsApp.
Yep. Although, in his defense, it is not easy to legally leave Cuba for Cubans. So, Alex Vegas Diaz, 19, and a friend were taken to a military base, outfitted with weapons, and then sent to the fight. Time reports after reviewing social media footage posted by Vegas Diaz. In one of the viral videos Time cited, dated August 31st, Vegas Diaz could be seen in a Russian hospital recovering from an unspecified illness, saying he was due to be sent back to the front upon recovery. From his hospital bed, he pleaded to help get us out of here, Times reported, adding, "What is happening in the Ukraine is ugly. To see people with their heads open before you, to see how people are killed, feel the bombs falling next to you." Another video cited by Times, Vegas Diaz said, "There are dead Cubans, there are missing Cubans, and this is not going to end until this war is over." He added, "We know that Cuba is aware, and our advice to Cubans is not to come here. This is the craziest thing. Crazy. Don't do it."
Yeah. I mean, he went to Russia thinking he was going to be a bowling alley staff member.
Yeah, it says here, Times reported that Vegas Diaz became part of a large operation that openly recruited hundreds of Cubans to join the Russian army to fight the Ukraine.
That is unfortunate. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's awful. It's so messed up. But I'm not surprised either.
No, not at all. What's more international than international waters, right?
Yeah.
So the Coast Guard arrests a man trying to run a giant hamster wheel across the Atlantic.
I saw this one. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so try as he might, Reza Belushi, not Belushi, can't reach his destination without running afoul of the U.S. Coast Guard. And the key problem is his vessel, which is a giant floating hamster wheel made of buoys and wire, self-propelled by him running inside.
See, this just sounds like bullshit. This is the United States we're talking about. Do whatever you want. It's not freedom.
You can't run in a giant hamster wheel in international waters, but you can own hundreds of guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
he should have had hundreds of guns in his hamster wheel.
Oh, it's my right to arm bears. So Belushi, who lives in Florida, after being granted asylum from Iran, was taken this is why they stopped him, was taken in by the Coast Guard last week aboard his vessel following several days of back and forth with the authority. Can you imagine? He's in the hamster wheel running going, "Nah, man, I'm not stopping. What you gonna do? Good luck."
Yeah.
Goodbye.
You can't catch me. Oh shit, he did.
Right? So there was a criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court in South Florida. The Coast Guard cutter Valiant came across Belushi and his homemade vessel about 70 nautical miles east of Tybee Island, Georgia, on August 26th, as the Coast Guard was preparing for Hurricane Franklin. Because we like to call our hurricanes things you're not scared of.
Like the turtle or the president.
I don't understand. Right. I don't understand.
Well, he was the president, right?
Like
D. Roosevelt, whatever.
Like, call it Hurricane Tyrone. I'm gonna go away. I will leave the state. So he told officers his destination.
Hurricane motherfucker. Hurricane Satan.
This guy's destination was London, England, 4,000 miles away. He was obviously, you can tell I'm just reading it for the first time.
Typhoon, fuck around and find out.
Typhoon BrewVerie.
Yes.
He was the Coast Guard pulled him over and they asked him for the vehicle's registration. He said it was registered in Florida, but that he couldn't find it.
I mean, it sounds legit.
Honestly, the fact that he even looked for it would be enough for me. They assessed his vehicle, which is called a hydropod, and they determined he was conducting a manifestly unsafe voyage. No shit. They didn't identify his starting point, but they approached him in a small boat, and they could have approached him in a rowboat. It would have been fine, and instructed him to join them. They were ending his voyage due to it being unsafe, but he replied that he had a 12-inch knife and would attempt to kill himself. Well, this got dark fast, but he would attempt to kill himself if the officers attempted to remove him from the vessel. First off, who is traveling in a buoy air inflated hamster wheel with a 12-inch knife? So anyways, the officers returned to the cutter, stayed nearby. Which appropriate, you don't want, and well, I mean, U.S., who knows, but good choice, guys. Anyways, they tried again over the next day or so to get him to join them on the small boat, and then he displayed 2 knives and threatened to hurt himself if officers boarded his vessel. I don't know how they would do that. Bellucci also threatened to blow himself up along with his vessel. The officers saw him holding wires in his hand and believed him. Good. This guy was determined to get to London.
Yes, he was.
The following day, a second Coast Guard cutter named Campbell, a little less interesting than Valiant, arrived and sent a small boat to him to deliver food, water, and word that the hurricane was expected. He refused again to leave the vessel and told the officers the bomb wasn't real. So that's good. And then finally, one more small boat was sent, and it was able to safely remove him from his floating hamster wheel. And he was brought ashore in Miami Beach on Friday, and he was released on a $250,000 bond. It wasn't his first try. He's done this like 3 other times. He's just got this dream of going in a hamster wheel. So here we are.
Couldn't we just get the Coast Guard to film him in the hamster ball during Hurricane Motherfucker or whatever it was called?
I'd watch it.
So would I. Yes. What is the may the whatever be in your favor?
May the odds be may the odds be in your favor.
May the odds be ever in your favor. The Hunger Games begin.
Literally, quietly. It is a game of hamster wheels, not even a Thrones. I mean, I've seen some stuff, but that would be something I'd tune into daily.
I've seen Trees of Green, Red Roses too.
I've seen Trees of Green, Red Roses too.
But no weirdo in a hamster ball.
Who got sued. I think to myself, that's a dumbass idea.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, man.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, please make sure all your seatbelts are securely fastened. All electronic equipment must be switched off. This includes laptops, mobile phones, and Kindles. We'll landing shortly.
Air Canada has apologized to customers who were allegedly escorted off the plane for refusing to sit in a chair covered with vomit for the duration of their over 4-hour flight. The airline issued a statement after a viral Facebook post claimed 2, as of yet unidentified female flyers were told that there was nothing to be done about the visible vomit on their soiled seats. So Susan Benson, a passenger on board the August 26th flight from Las Vegas to Montreal, big surprise, Las Vegas, said she first noticed the smell of vomit and 2 women struggling to be seated. When she boarded the plane, the pair were in the row directly in front of her and were treated unfairly, she said. Quote, there was a bit of a foul smell, but we didn't know at first what the problem was. Apparently, on the previous flight, someone had vomited in this area, Benson wrote. Air Canada attempted to quick cleanup before boarding, but clearly wasn't able to do a thorough clean. They placed coffee grinds in the seat pouch and sprayed perfume to mask the smell. So fucking gross, right?
That's terrible.
So it's the 2 ladies talked to the flight attendants. Staff members were apologetic, but informed them that there was nothing they could be done. After supervisor reiterated that they would have to sit in the soiled seats. 2 men were reluctantly provided blankets, wipes, and vomit bags to clean the area themselves. Eventually, the pilot allegedly gave the women 2 options: leave the plane on their own accord and pay for another flight, or be escorted off by security and placed on a no-fly list. The pilot reportedly cited their rude behavior as the reason for the forced exit.
They sat in vomit. Like, this isn't Spirit Airlines.
Oh, God. It's not often that a police officer is the good guy. Benson said a fellow passenger sitting beside the women and who identified himself as a police officer spoke calmly with the pilot in French. While Benson said she doesn't understand French, she understood he was trying to negotiate on the seatmate's behalf. And then when the pilot got up and walked away, the police officer said to the ladies, which I could hear very clearly, he said, I just explained to him that I'm a police officer in Montreal and that we would not treat people this way, that you were not rude and that your seats, that your seat is definitely got vomit and it's wet, but you're settled now. We're all seated and we're fine. I don't know. I think police officers sometimes do some very rude things, but okay. But then security approached the 2 women and said they needed to speak with them privately, according to Benson. She didn't initially realize they were being kicked off the flight, but they never returned. She wished she had asked for the pair's names and contact information. I wish I had videotaped, as I wish so many things. But yeah. So Air Canada claimed to be conducting an internal review of the incident and said it is in contact with the affected customers.
Here's your internal review. You fucked up.
Yeah. Quote, our operating procedures were not followed correctly in this instance, the airline said in a statement. This includes apologizing to the customers as they clearly did not receive the standard of care of to which they are entitled. And the funny part is that Air Canada has not been a great airline for me. I remember one time we were on one of their budget airlines they own, and they had an airline issue, so they got us a new plane, and there was mouse droppings in all the overhead baggage spots. It's just like, oh, really?
It's one of...
Get a vacuum quickly, guys.
Right. I feel like airlines are very much hey, you're in this tin can. We've already got your money. We don't have to do shit for you. There are very few places that actually care. And those places are very short-sighted because they're like, well, they're never going to want to fly again anyways. Well, that's not true. Honestly, the pilot should be fired for sure. Because it sounds like the pilot escalated it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, fuck you, Air Canada. Unless I have to fly with you, and then hello.
Air Canada, Air Canada.
Blame Air Canada, blame Air Canada. With their flappy heads. Exactly.
Via Front Page Detectives and published August 13th of this year, a California man wanted to become rich and eternally youthful. So he did what anybody would decide to do. He decapitated a retired arborist.
Jesus Christ.
That took a left turn and got right to the root of the problem. In December of, so this was published in 2023. But this happened in December of 2018 because justice system. Francis Wolk, 30, I'd say he wasn't very woke. 30, murdered Kathy Hughes Anderson, a 62-year-old retired arborist, in her Menlo Park home. The Palo Alto Daily Post reported the defendant nearly decapitated the victim after stabbing her in the eye. Wolk was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison for first-degree murder. I feel like it should just be life.
Yeah.
But he entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity after he was charged in the case. His defense attorneys tried to argue that Wolk, who reportedly had a history of heavy methamphetamine use and experienced auditory hallucinations, probably because of the meth, believed that if he committed cannibalism, he would, quote, stay young forever and join the 1% of people who eat human protein to become rich.
Okay, Dahmer.
The defense also claimed Wolk believed voices had urged him to kill. He, however, had no drugs in his system when he murdered Anderson, and prosecutors noted that in the weeks following his arrest, the defendant neither reported experiencing auditory hallucinations nor was observed talking to himself. Wolk was later determined to be legally sane when he committed the slaying.
Well, I mean, unless someone really seriously has had a mental break, I hate when that bullshit excuse is used. And, you know, a history of drug use causing issues probably doesn't really fall under that.
No, I mean, like, I get it. Like, yes, being in a really dark spot, doing things like meth can create a lot of side effects, a lot of long-lasting effects, of course.
Yeah.
However, I just don't see long-lasting effects, including wanting to become rich and immortal, and so I'm going to kill an arborist.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't happen to be on the side of the bottle, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not there. So,
No, for sure. Yikes.
California,
California,
not
city of Compton.
California, rest in peace. Okay.
All right. You know what? I'm going to make this crime as well because it's also a crime, but it's also politics.
Perfect.
Justin Trudeau accuses India of a killing on Canadian soil.
I can't wait to hear this.
The Canadian leader said agents of India had assassinated a Sikh community leader in British Columbia in June. India called the accusation absurd. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada said on Monday that agents of the government of India had carried out the assassination of a Sikh community leader, an explosive allegation that is likely to further sour relations between the two nations.
I'm not laughing because of the murder. I'm laughing because of the idea that Canada is sour with anybody. Or anybody sour with Canada.
Right. Speaking in the House of Commons, Mr. Trudeau said that he had raised India's involvement in the shooting of Sikh leader Harpreet Singh Najir directly with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Group of 20 Summit meeting earlier this month. In no uncertain terms, he said the allegations were based on intelligence gathered by the Canadian government. So, quote, any involvement of a foreign government in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is unacceptable or isn't an unacceptable violation of our sovereignty, Mr. Trudeau told lawmakers. He said Canada would pressure India to cooperate with the investigation into the killing of Mr. Najir, who advocated Sikh separatism.
It always boils down to religion, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. And India is a majority Hindu nation too. So again,
yeah, those are two faiths that I don't know a lot about. And I think I said this to you at some point. It just blows my mind that people use this to justify when it couldn't be further from what's instructed overall.
Yeah.
So, Jesus. I mean, and I also said this to you probably a day or two ago, before any government comes out publicly against another country, which is what happened. I mean, you have to have some legitimate evidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thought of threatening any kind of relations, which I assume India basically just shut off their connections and for now.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have some solid evidence. But it does sound like it was motivated that way.
Yes. So it says Melanie Joy, the foreign minister, later announced that Canada had expelled an Indian diplomat who she described as the head of India's intelligence agency in Canada. So India's foreign ministry rejected the Canadian allegations on Tuesday morning as absurd and politically motivated, saying that Canada has a long provided shelter to Khalistani terrorists, I think that's how you pronounce it, and extremists who threatened India's security. So Khalistan is what Sikh separatists call the independent state they seek to create. I mean, you know what? It's not surprising when you've got a very, very strong majority Hindu government that has a very strict class system in the country.
Yeah.
So they've, of course, completely rejected the idea, and now they've expelled a Canadian diplomat based in India because that's what you do.
Anytime like an organization bigger than like 5 to 10 people deny something, in my head is just that one kid who's just like, he's insulted and he goes, no. And then like 10 minutes later, when everybody's gone, he's like, your mom.
Yeah, no shit, right? So it says the allegations that India's government was involved in a political killing in Canada is likely to further corrode relations between the two countries. Earlier this month, Canada suspended negotiations on a trade deal with India that were scheduled to have been concluded this year. Because of the assassination allegations, it now appears during the G20, Mr. Modi excluded Mr. Trudeau from the list of leaders with whom he held formal bilateral meetings. Mr. Trudeau said many Canadians of Indian origin, they make up 4% of Canada's population, had been angered by the killing and in some cases feared for their personal safety. About 1.4 million Canadians of Indian heritage. Most of them are Sikhs, including Jagmeet Singh, the NDP leader. Yeah, Mr. Najir, 45, was shot near a Sikh temple in Surrey, British Columbia at a news conference in June. Investigators from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said that he had been ambushed by masked men, but would not say whether the attack appeared to be politically motivated. Mr. Najir was vocal about the threats to his life, which were shared with Canada's spy agency, the World Sikh Organization of Canada, a nonprofit, said in a statement. If these allegations are true, they represent an outrageous affront to Canadian sovereignty. That's the leader of the Conservative Party. Jagmeet Singh, the NDP party leader, broke with protocol to address the House of Commons in Punjabi as well as English and said he had spoken with Mr. Najir's son. Quote, I could hear the pain and loss in his voice, Mr. Singh said. I can only imagine how much more painful it is going to be knowing the political connection. That's probably good enough there. But yeah, that's just crazy. If India was actually involved with murdering some Canadian citizen.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the BrewVerie Report, where we deliver your daily news monthly. We really appreciate you hanging in there with us. Please like, subscribe, review. If you haven't already, it's the cheapest way to support this podcast. You also can head to patreon.com/brewcrime and support us in that fashion. That helps us to get better equipment and spend more time on the show that we would love to. But alas, indie podcasters, we have a billion other things like jobs. And on top of that, you can find us jobs on any social media at Brew Crime. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you got a crazy story, email brewcrime@pacificbeerchat.com, or you can email JT at high5holly.com. And we'd love to hear from you. So thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Later.
So make sure you behave or
fuck around and find out.
And you might find yourself on next month's BrewVerie Report.
For all the sources for this episode of BrewVerie, head to BrewVerie True Crime Podcast or Brew Crime Podcast's feeds on your favorite podcast host. This has been a production of Brew Crime Podcast and BrewVerie True Crime. Not no shame.
Sidaki. Oh, jeez. When did Paige enter the chat?
I thought there was a little more, but yeah. Part of Disney World shut down just because of a bear. I heard of it, but I don't think we did it. Let me just double check.
Okay. Please do.
I can check quickly. podcast.
You would have done it.
Wrong one.
Not Paige, because we know that Mississippi does not get international news. Or,
Sorry,
you
just
know,
1 sec.
national news. Or non-hate driven news.
I don't believe we did.
All right.
So go on. Do you have any more animals?
I do if you've got one to match it.
I'm done, but you go ahead.
All right. That's a terrible joke. I don't know where yeah.
Yep. I don't know either. Do you have any international?
Nope. Maybe. Let's see. Well, is California considered international?
No, it's not.
Dang.
I'm gonna do one international because it's crazy.
Find one real quick.
Okay. You do that while I get this one loaded up. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Just 1 second while I try a different browser.
Oh no.
That one's saying I've got an ad blocker on and it won't let me use it. Here we go. I got a fun one for travel I could do.
That's good. I have to pee real fast. Oh, sorry. Your image for a second froze.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it says my internet connection's unstable. It's probably just talking about me, and it's confused. Well,
Did you have one more you wanted to do, or?
no, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're at an hour now. All right, why do you run us out then? All right, let's stop recording.